All right. Well, I decided to watch a movie that I've probably seen before, but I just felt like watching. And that movie is the 1994 movie Stargate, starring the always fantastic Kurt Russell, amongst others. Now, Stargate has had three movies and several TV shows with more episodes and content than I'll probably ever watch. But as far as I can tell, it's a fairly decent sci fi kind of twisted type of soap opera type deal. And it deals with the premise of traveling across the universe and aliens and Kurt Russell and military dudes, tracking down aliens. So, I mean, it's quite great. But today we're going to focus on the one and only splendid Kurt Russell. Now, the movie takes place in and was made in 1994, so to speak. It involves a crew of people traveling across the cosmos to a different world using a portal, and that basically is the line of the premise that I wanted to go with. But the focus of today is not over on the general movie, which is quite decent, and it's a great little sci-fi romp from the 90s. I quite thoroughly enjoyed this movie. But what we're talking about today is the absolute sharpness of Kurt Russell's buzz cut in this movie. Now, Kurt Russell in basically everything is awesome, but in this movie, there seems to be an aura of particular awesomeness. It's some kind of general, colonel, sergeant, major dude who's just there to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And Kurt Russell in such a role is truly incredible, and he makes no qualms with just absolutely kicking ass in this movie. But I couldn't help but wonder or notice that his hair is just utterly jaw-droppingly awesome in this movie. It's got a sharpness, it's got a sheen to it that is just so photogenic that they must have had an entire crew of people maintaining this beast at all times. Now, despite the movie basically just being a sci-fi romp that, is pretty straightforward, you got aliens, you got a foreign planet, you got, nukes, everything is there and everything is stellar. But yeah, I mean, Kurt Russell just seems to particularly be freaking awesome, and he's got some utterly wicked scenes in this movie. Now, we could talk about all the scenes, but there is a scene in this movie that is just so amazingly awesome that I just could not I just couldn't stop laughing when I saw it. It was the scene now at the end. They, fight a bunch of kind of like humans converted to alien religion, so to speak, and now they're into the, like Egyptian themes, and there's a lot of Egyptian themes going throughout the movie. And at the end, he's beating up this guard who's like an Egyptian dude, and then he's just about to, kill him, so to speak. And he turns to this guy and says, "Give my regards to King Tut, asshole."
Give my regards to King Tut, asshole.
just it's just absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10 scene. When Kurt Russell says, "Give my regards to King Tut, asshole," I just could not stop laughing, and it's truly a freaking amazing scene. Now, it's also got another fairly hilarious scene too, as well. Now, they travel back to this, different planet, completely separate from Earth, where there's like these Egyptian type people running around everywhere who are basically primitive humans. And Kurt Russell, of course, is smoking like the badass sergeant dude he is. And there's an Egyptian kid wanders in and starts talking to him basically, and yeah, he gives the kid a cigarette, and the kid, of course, is like doesn't know how to smoke it, coughs and that. But everybody who smokes cigarettes knows it gives you this like first initial wave of, lightheadedness and high feeling. And I just couldn't stop laughing at the fact that he gave this kid access to his cigarettes, and you have no idea what would happen to him. There's actually a very subtle and incredible scene at the end of the movie, too, where Kurt Russell's character, Jack O'Neill, turns to James Spader's Daniel Jackson, who's kind of like the main character of the show, and also has been hitting on this and drawing closer to this Egyptian woman, primitive woman. And yeah, at the end, they kind of hook up James Spader, Daniel Jackson, and this Sharuri chick. And, they start kissing at the end of the movie when everything is, the victory, so to speak, celebrations. Kurt Russell turns and looks at them kissing, kind of nods his head in a way that he says, almost as if to say, I wouldn't fuck a chick across the universe, but have at her. It's hilarious. He's like, okay, well, if it's gonna be that kind of party, go ahead. It's a great scene, and the charisma of Kurt Russell just shines through in this movie. So yeah, I mean, essentially, the sharpness of Kurt Russell's hair is the focal point of this video. It's just so, I don't know. It's sharp. It's definite. It has its exact and calculations, and it's almost that many parts of the movie got like a light. Of course they're in the desert type areas, and it does dusty Egyptian tombs. His buzz cut always has this light dusting throughout the movie sometimes, and at various points of the movie it's more dusty than others. And when it gets really dusty, you can almost tell it's got like this fuzziness to it. And I just could not get over how sharp and excellent Kurt Russell's buzz cut was in this movie. It's as if someone took, a very like specific measurement of this thing, because at many times in the movie it's different lengths than others. So they obviously the movie probably took place filming over, X amount of months or whatever. But throughout this entirety of the movie, his buzz cut is maintained and, manicured to be this perfectly a militaristic, sharp, almost guile like dimensions and geometry. His buzz cut is truly fantastic, and like I said, sometimes it's got like a light dusting of sand or dust, or so to speak, and you can really tell when it is, because when this thing is just so fuzzy once it becomes dusty. So I mean, it's a pretty good movie. It is a movie that actually does, encompass this late 90s sci-fi environment. And although Stargate has plenty of movies, including two in 2008, and plenty of series, so to speak, it's a kind of a classic sci-fi type of thing, and I maybe one day will get into the TV series because I've seen them throughout Stargate Atlantis, Stargate Universe, Stargate SG-1. They've been dormant for a very long time, and were very popular. But yeah, I just never really watched them. But this original movie, directed by Roland Emmerich, is fairly good, and it is just encompasses a perfect, neat, tight little sci-fi movie from the 90s. And Kurt Russell's buzz cut is worth the price of admission alone. And actually, the true goat of this movie is the scene when he beats up or kills the Egyptian dude and says, "Give my regards to King Tut, asshole," because it's so random, it's so careless, it's so fucking epic, and I just love Kurt Russell. So yeah, Kurt Russell's fucking hair in this movie is just 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. The sharpness of Kurt Russell's hair in Stargate 1994 is just otherworldly.
Give my regards to King Tut, asshole.